call, please.
Mrs. Fryrick, Mr. Posnell,
Here.
Mr. Robinson,
Here.
Mr. Sanders,
Here.
Mr. Scolette, Mrs. Schrader,
Here.
Mr. Sears, Mr. Toman, Mr. Watts.
Here. This is your first opportunity for public comment. All comments and questions will be addressed to the president. Board and staff members will not normally respond to comments or questions during the meeting unless recognized by the president for this purpose. Comments will be limited at the discretion of the president to 5 minutes or less. Okay. We have the minutes of the combined planning committee and regular monthly meeting of July 15th. Does anybody have any corrections or changes? Then they are approved as submitted. The board met prior to this meeting in executive session as permitted by Section 707 of the Sunshine Act for the purpose of discussing legal matters. No official action was taken. And speaking of legal, in my report I will mention that we have a draft together that we're ready to send out for the RFP for legal counsel moving forward. And that will probably happen next few weeks. We'll give them something to respond and set a date. So that is moving forward as well. Okay. And with that, Dr. Williams.
Thank you. Tonight we have Mr. Shary and Dr. Furman to present to us, and Dr. Furman, we'll have Dr. Furman.
I'll just let you go first.
All right. Well, thank you. There we go. I thought I would share with you pictures of the Gaga Pit building because this is, an update from that June meeting. I'm happy to report we have 2 Gaga Pits at East York Elementary School, and Isaac did an outstanding job prior to the build. He had all the staining done. I think somebody's comment here might have scared him about working with the teachers. He had all the staining done. He had the holes, he pre-drilled the holes, and then he went through and he had at each of the corner pieces where the boards connect to the little framey doohickey thingers, he had all of the bolts and the screws in bags ready to go. So literally he put them at each one of the posts and told us that's all we were allowed to touch to tighten things and get it together. And within 2 hours we had the 2 pits built. Till the second crew of teachers got there to relieve the first crew, we were basically finished. He has some finishing touches to put on it. We're waiting it was really, really hot that day, so he needed things to settle a little bit, some of the plastic, go back, retighten it, and then carve into the entry so that the kids can jump in and out safely. And then I thought I would also update you on the construction renovation projects at East York. If you're familiar with the 3rd and 5th grade hallways, this year was the phase where the carpet that was taken out. And Mr. Weaver said that carpet was there longer than he's been there, which was over 20 years. So I was really happy to see the carpet go. I'm hoping to get the 4th grade hallway on the project list for next summer. But at any rate, so the floors, the contractors were great to work with this summer. The floors are in excellent condition. Some of the laminate paneling that you saw, those were in the rooms towards the end of the 3rd grade hallway that are additions. They didn't have the terrazzo underneath, so they needed to put something down in place of it. Those are summer updates from East York Elementary. The roofers are just about finished, and so if any of you want to stop by and get a first-hand tour and look for yourself, by all means, swing by. I'd be happy to show the building off to you.
So you wonder if you put that thing together first before you brought it over, put it together, took it apart, brought it over so you knew that everything was going to go together.
We had been in close contact with one another, and so there are 3 boards. It's an octagon shape, 2 of them, like 3 boards for each section. With the 2 of them, his dad said they were having a hard time finding drying space because they would stain the boards, but it was so wet the end of June, beginning of July that they were just hoping that stuff would dry, and they're running out of places. I got a whole building of hallways. I can help you out. But it all came together. So Isaac will come to school. We'll clear up something with Dr. Ellis, and he's going to come in, and over the loudspeaker, he'll explain to the students the project that he completed, why he completed it, and then he's going to hang out and bring another Eagle Scout friend, and they're going to teach the kids how to play correctly. So we'll rotate the classrooms through so that they get a proper introduction to it.
Good.
Thank you. Mr. Shary.
I wish I had a foil.
It's really nice.
It looks like wood.
Doesn't it?
It's awesome.
It's laminate though.
Okay, middle school. So we have a couple pictures here. First picture is our food pantry that we started at the end of the year. This is partially run by Mr. Knoll, one of our science teachers, and a group of students called, and the group is called See a Need, Take a Lead. And the students bring in food from the outside, and we provide it for students in need over the summer. So it was an expansion of our backpack program. So we've had some families come in over the summer, and then we provide them a month's worth of food to take home to their family, and then they come back another month, and so on and so on. I also, I'll bring up the school lunches and school breakfast program that we run at the middle school this summer. It's been going very well. We've averaged about 70 to 80 students daily. We started at 100 and did triple that to about 70 to 80 a day. And the breakfast program is running well. The suggestion is we do it next year. We'll change the time a little bit to coincide with the summer program that runs across the street. The center picture up here are our packages. So these are the materials that we order every summer, consumables, different things. And so we've been spending the past week kind of finding homes for all the materials, the pencils and pens and crayons and paper. This picture here, our art teacher, Molly McGuff, she's been coming in over the summer and creating a couple of new murals for us to kind of brighten up our hall and add a little bit of a little color. And this is one she's working on. This is our gym entrance to the right, and so she painted that area. Obviously, it's the big YS shield, so it's been pretty neat. She's been coming in the evenings and slowly working on that. These three pictures here, we will talk more about this hopefully in the fall if everything gets wrapped up, but this is the progress that our students and teachers have been making towards a greenhouse using hydroponics in the back. These are tubes that, this is still in construction phase, it's not actually being used, but these tubes will be filled with water and the plants will grow out of here with hydroponics. These are all planting beds, top and bottom, and PEX tubing runs through these, and the temperature will be regulated by solar power black tubing that will sit up here. So it's not solar panels with electricity, but black tubing that absorbs the heat because it's black. This shed was built by our students at the end of the year. The last about 40 days they started on it and they did finish it and were able to assemble it. This will house a small water heater, a 100-gallon water tank that will sit underground. There's a 100-gallon water tank that sits under here to retain the heat in the winter. So that way when the water is heated, that heated water goes underground into here and will keep those beds at a regulated temperature, so that way we can actually grow during the school year, since most of the growing season is during the summer months. We needed to trick Mother Nature and get the temperature a little different. So, and then these are just outside flower beds that the students also constructed, so that way we'll be able to grow some herbs and maybe some vegetables if we can get some with the right timing depending on the weather. It all sits on recycled turf from the old Trojan field. So that's why it looks so lush and green. Not real. And this picture here is a picture of one of our guests who, with your permission tonight, you may approve her for hire. This will be another family. Adam is already one of our teachers at the middle school, and his wife applied for one of our math positions that were open up, and we will be recommending her tonight for your approval to make a pair in our Trojan family. We've been doing lots of interviews the last 3 weeks. We've had multiple people turn in their resignations or move on to something else. And so we've had a lot of last-minute postings. So the past 3 weeks, we've been sitting in interviews. That's my report to the middle school. Things are going well.
It occurs to me, both of you mentioned about teachers coming in over the summer to paint murals and help construct things. That's just a tip of the iceberg of what they do, I realize, but please extend our thanks to them, because I know it goes on all the time, but it's above and beyond, and we appreciate it.
The middle school would not be, I can't speak for East York, but the middle school would not be the middle school if it weren't for teachers who give up their time morning and evenings and even in the summer to do things that
Right.
are just above and beyond for students.
Right, but we appreciate it is the bottom line.
Mr. Shire mentioned middle school, because people taking administrative posts or moving away or whatever, the middle school has an inordinate number of interviewing going on. More than usual, because of the circumstances. And I think Dr. Byrne will have a guest to tell us about too.
Absolutely.
Might as well go ahead and do that now.
Everyone, meet Nicole Garner. She is completing the Powerhouse Dream, third grade dream team that we've constructed at East York this summer. Similar to some of the situation at the middle school, I had the large task of trying to fill Donna Beiser's shoes after she retired. So one of my third grade teachers moved to fourth grade. We helped Jillian Spacker chase her dream of becoming a guidance counselor last year. And then Mrs. Ridgway decided she wanted to retire in good health and go camping with her husband and add larger class sizes rolling in third grade. So we had a lot of reconstructing to do with third grade. But our third grade students are in great hands. This is Nicole Garner. She comes to us with experience in urban education. She's a local girl, graduated from Dallastown High School. And I'm not sure what else you'd like to share about yourself, Nicole.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Nicole Garner. I graduated from IUP for college, and I also worked at Lafayette Elementary School. I taught second grade. I've been teaching for about 10 years. I taught third grade and fourth grade, so I'm super excited to be here. A little rushed, but I think it's a challenge that I can do, so I'm excited, and thank you for letting me be here.
Ms. Mason?
Thank you. I have one item for the board to approve tonight. It's the approval of the 2019-20 bus routes and the bus van driver list.
Second.
Did it change? Grow or?
The routes are about the same. Driver list is about the same because we didn't have to put on any new buses. But annually, we're supposed to approve the bus routes prior to school starting, and the drivers now we are continually having on the agenda because we have to approve them continuously now. This will be considered a unanimous roll call vote unless I hear votes to the contrary. Hearing none, motion passes. The rest of the agenda are items recommended for approval on August 19th. The first item is the appraisal proposal that was talked about with Attorney Jones for Regents Glen. The second one is the junior high soccer program that was discussed at the Finance Committee back on May 15th. Matt Marshall was in to talk about that program. And it was recommended from Finance to go ahead and do it on a trial basis for this year. The next item is the board approval of a purchase of a new reach-in heated cabinet for the high school at $9,445. This is a bid item that needs to be approved. And then item 4, administration recommends board approval of the integrated orthopedic services agreement with OSS Health for their company direct program. This also came out of Finance back in April. Actually, back up a minute, February. Toby Putt from AIA Insurance was in to give the presentation and talk about the VIP program that we should consider instituting. I took it back to finance in April, and it was the 5 programs. It was OSS Direct Health, CRX International, there was another drug program that we're doing, Cancer Care. They're all programs that would help take down costs both for the employee and the employer. We've been doing OSS since July 1st. We've had, I think it's close to 30 people already that have taken advantage of it. And this is, Toby went back and forth with us and OSS and other districts that he's working with, and he felt for everyone's sake it would be best to have an agreement in place because it is taking off. So it's all about just partnering with OSS for this program. And then the last item is the board approval of the annual agreement with Rupert Detective Agency, effective August 15th for uniformed and unarmed officers, an hourly rate of $19.50 is needed for events. This is mostly for our football games and our special events at the high school. Any questions? That concludes my report.
The committee meeting schedule is posted online. Academic standards.
Yes, we met last week, and you should have received an agenda if you're interested in the specific items. I think the biggest takeaway that the board might need to just have on their radar screen is the discussion about whether to continue the class rank, and that'll have to go through policy, and Dr. Ellis said he would be back to discuss that with policy, and I know that it met with varied opinions a couple of meetings ago, so I just wanted you to sort of have that on your radar screen, that's a topic that's going to be up for future discussion through policy, and then ultimately a decision made by the board. So if there are questions about that, be thinking about it so that you can have that information to ask questions about. Other than that, I think that concludes my report.
I will be Dr. Collette tonight and tell you that the communications report is provided online. Mr. Robbins.
Thank you, Mr. Posnell. You have before you the personnel report, which includes retirement, resignation, leave of absence, employment, and extracurricular. Would any board member like any of these items considered separately, or are there any questions on any of these items? If not, the chair moves approval of the below mentioned items.
Second.
Questions, comments? Usual roll call vote.
This will be considered a unanimous roll call decision unless I hear to the contrary. If not, motion passes.
Okay.
Yes. Just want to welcome you. You are supported. I don't know if you realize it or not, but you were just approved.
Yay! Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
I like the orange bill.
That's a nice touch. Oh, there you go. There you go.
So by all means, don't feel like you need to stay for the rest of the meeting. We're very grateful that you came.
Thank you.
Okay.
I forgot to mention today's Nicole's birthday as well. So
Oh, well, happy birthday. That's a nice birthday present, huh?
Loved it. Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Have a great evening.
That's nice. Bring the baby.
All right, thanks. So before you, you've got a list of 8 policies that were up for first read at our last month's meeting. Tonight will be considered the second read. These were discussed at length at our July 10th Policy Review Committee and will be on the agenda later this month for vote and adoption. So that's all I have.
Did anybody have any concerns from the last discussions about these?
none were shared with me.
York Adams Tax Bureau.
Let's see, we had our meeting on July 29th, and, the new business was the bylaws were updated to reflect the update practices, and the 2019 member percentage of ownership was shared, and that's based on a 3-year average, and York Suburban is at 2.21%.
School of Technology.
Yes, unfortunately, the July meeting for the School of Technology was canceled due to lack of a quorum. So as we can see here, vacations presented a problem apparently, but we meet later this month, and I'm sure that'll have changed by then. So that concludes my report.
And thank you for sitting through this lengthy, onerous meeting.
Should have bet.
This is your last opportunity for public comment. Yes, sir.
The legislative update.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I know you've been waiting for this with breathless anticipation, right? The last planning meeting of the Spring Township Planning Committee, it looks like plans are going through for a casino at the Galleria, Full Tilt. The ground floor of the old Sears building is now going to be a Hollywood casino, attracting gambling and heaven knows what else to the community. In addition, our PSBA legislative representative liaison, Ivana Ricard, has decided that working with us was just too much for her. So she's moved on to another opportunity. Right now, that position is up for grabs. I'm sure there are legions of people applying for the opportunity to come here and work with all of us. So, in the meantime, we're on our own when it comes to getting in touch with legislators and inviting them in to tour the district. But PSBA is actually encouraging us to do that, to bring all of our local reps for.
Don't we have an in with one of our members that these guys have here? Business?
Do we have it in?
That's right, can't Joel put a little pressure on?
Since he's not here, I'm gonna volunteer. Yeah, you bet. Let the minutes show.
Minutes show.
Okay, that concludes my report unless there are any questions.
Last chance, public comment?
I have a quick public
Okay.
comment. Hi.
Furman, 499 Hunting Park Lane, Alex Furman's mom. And I just wanted to, I don't really have a whole lot of stake in a class rank debate sort of thing. That was, we were never,
Family that needed to, not there. But
what I did want to share with you is that my son graduated high school with 15 college credits. And as somebody who just got her first tuition bill,
the value of 15 college credits for the less than $2,500 through York College, CLEP test, AP exams or whatnot, that was invaluable. So I just wanted to say my son is very well prepared
prepared to start his future. Thank you to all of the teachers of York
Suburban School District, but just another piece of out there to think about. And none of those things
factored into a class rank sort of discussion, but those were all invaluable to my family. Thank you.
Is he gone?
No, not till August 24th we fly out.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
thank you.
Anything around the table? We're done. Thank you.